lot to talk about. Let's bring in Democratic Congresswoman Karen Bass of California. She was in the hearing room during the historic proceedings yesterday. Congressman, thanks so much for being here. Not only were you in the room yesterday, you also sit on two of the committees that are key in investigating all of this Ukraine controversy. So tell me, what did you think when you heard the revelation from Ambassador Bill Taylor about this previously undisclosed phone call?
Well, first of all, I think it's shocking on so many levels. It's shocking that the ambassador could pick up the phone and call the president in a restaurant. You remember the president said that he didn't even know the ambassador. It's shocking that he could be overheard. And so, you know, my Republican colleagues have complained that there's no firsthand knowledge. It's all hearsay. It's all secondhand. Well, that's pretty firsthand. And so we will hear directly from the gentleman as well as Ambassador Sondland next week. And so it'll be interesting to see how they move the ball further when we do hear from two people with firsthand knowledge.
And so in the room, when that was disclosed, just give me the vibe. Were you stunned? I mean, what happened inside the room there?
Well, I absolutely was stunned. And I was stunned because I was in the skiff when the ambassador testified the first time. And I thought that his testimony the first time was shocking. But to hear this added in, absolutely. I'm very glad that he did. I think the two gentlemen are absolute patriots, and we need to thank them. I was ashamed of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle with how they treated them, how they regarded them.
What part? So, what part did you find shameful?
Well, you know, the way they have ridiculed, the way they have tried to minimize the hearings, you know, the ranking member, his opening statement. They don't have anything to say on the substance, and so they attack the process. You remember they were upset we were having closed-door depositions. The transcripts weren't released. Okay, so we've done all of that. And they don't really have anything to say to challenge the substance, so they keep attacking the process. Well, they look rather desperate.
I suppose. I think they've moved on beyond. What I hear is that they're now saying this is hearsay. This is not firsthand. Right. So they said that both of the witnesses yesterday only had hearsay. It was their opinion. They basically kept saying. So they also say, I mean, many of them say that there's nothing wrong with a president applying pressure to a foreign president. That happens all the time, you hear them say.
Well, I do not believe that the United States is corrupt like that. And I also think that you heard from the ambassador that is completely out of the ordinary. Of course we put pressure on countries. Of course we attacked issues like corruption. But that is clearly not what the president was doing. The president was trying to pressure another country for his own personal political gain. And to me, what is so startling about this is that when we were going over the Mueller report is talking about the past. What is happening in this instance is the president attempting to impact the current election process. And there is absolutely, positively nothing normal about that. And also the fact that this is an ally that we withheld military assistance from while they were under attack. You heard the Ambassador Taylor talk about how he's in Ukraine. He was there recently. He talked about people who have been killed. And so the idea that we would withhold military assistance and try to force a president to go out publicly and say he's going to investigate the opponents of Trump is really just shameful. And this happens on the world stage, so the whole world is looking at us. And I think it's a very important moment in our history. I was honored to be there, but I do look forward to this process being over.
Congressman, there were many questions raised about the disclosure of this phone call yesterday, and some possibly problematic for Democrats. If it happened on July 26th, and Bill Taylor's staffer heard it on July 26th, why did Bill Taylor only learn of it on Friday, as he says in his opening statement?
Well, that I have no idea. And perhaps we'll learn when the gentleman comes before the committee in a closed-door session in the next couple of days, and also from Sondland. So I don't know why he just learned about it. He seemed to be surprised as well, remember?
Yes. I mean, and again, that does beg a question. Did the staffer not think it was important? Had the staffer forgotten about it? Was the, I mean, you know, obviously you need to know more about this.
Right, and who knows? And considering that the administration has been trying to do everything they could to cover up the details, you know, there are complaints that this is no, you know, firsthand knowledge. Both the ambassador and the other gentleman that spoke said that they have detailed notes, but the State Department is holding on to them and will not allow them to release them. So when there is an opportunity for firsthand information, my Republican colleagues and the administration don't want to see it come forward.
But to be clear, you and or your committee will get a chance to question that staffer tomorrow.
Yes, we will. But we're still waiting to see if we're going to get the notes from the ambassador and the other information that the State Department and the administration is holding on to. There's also the other witnesses that have firsthand knowledge that the administration won't allow to come forward. So on the one hand, don't say that this is just hearsay when the administration that you guys are so adamantly defending will not allow more firsthand information to come forward.
So, Congressman, I know that you were one of the more reluctant Democrats in terms of impeachment. You certainly weren't pressing for it to begin with.
Right.
So where are you today, and what do you think changed yesterday,
Well, and not so much yesterday. What changed for me fundamentally was the whistleblower coming forward. And like I mentioned before, it's one thing to talk about what happened in the past, and believe me, I don't dismiss that. I think the Mueller report giving 10 examples of obstruction of justice was very, very serious. But the fact of the matter is that what was going on this summer is impacting the current election and also one of our allies. So not only did was there the potential to interfere in the election in 2020, but also our international standing and compromising an ally. Those are very, very different things.
But quickly, do you think something changed yesterday in terms of the understanding of what happened?
I do. I mean, I think the hearing about that phone call, and then, hopefully the public hearing from these two American heroes coming forward and saying that they have put in decades of public service and that never in their career did they ever experience anything like this.
Congresswoman Karen Bass, we look forward to hearing what you all learn tomorrow. Thank you very much for being on New Day.
Thank you.